Hi, welcome back. I'm Sifu Wayne, author of the Wing Chun Compendium series of books and head instructor of the Canadian Wing Chun Academy. I'd like to welcome you to the next in a series of video question and answer sessions. Let's head on out to the studio. Hi, welcome back. This week we're going to talk about Tsui Ma, or the pushing horse or pushing stance drill. This drill is specifically designed to help the junior or the newer student who's not yet started the Chisao curriculum to maintain his or her balance and to get his or her hands back onto the center line when they're out of position. This is a drill performed between a Siheng, an older Kung Fu brother, and a Sidai, or a younger Kung Fu brother. This drill has this type of partnership to ensure that the element of learning and training remains intact, and that there is no winner or loser, and that any person doesn't think that this is a competition. So there's three primary rules for the Sidai, or younger Kung Fu brother or sister, to observe. Those are: stay balanced. So when performing the drill, try not to get out of position forward. Try not to get out of position backwards. Just keep the hip forward and stay upright. The second is that the Siheng will be performing some techniques: Bong Sao, Tan Sao, Fuk Sao, and they'll be using their advanced stance to move the junior person around while using these three techniques to move the hands of the Sidai off of center so that they can learn to return them back to center. So there won't be any techniques involved except a punch and a palm. I'm going to demonstrate this for you in just a sec. So if me as the Siheng, if I notice my partner's Tan Sao drop too low, I'm going to punch to let him or her know that it's too low. And if their elbow on the Fuk Sao, if their elbow flies out, I'm going to attack up the middle. And I'll only use these two single techniques, single hand techniques, to help educate or help teach the Sidai when they're out of position, so they can learn and eventually keep their hands back in position, back along the center line. I'd like to invite Tony up here to help demonstrate a few of the things that we were just talking about. So Tony's going to act as the Sidai, the younger Kung Fu brother. I'll act as the Siheng. And what I'm going to do is just push on his horse a little bit so that he gets a chance to practice staying upright. Just come on this way a little bit. So that will help Tony to move his horse and stay upright. We all know what happens if you try to get in a fight and you can't maintain your balance. Be very difficult to be successful. So we train this to help us stay balanced and upright. So now that Tony has mastered staying upright when people are pushing on his horse. We're going to test the next part as well in this drill, and we're going to make sure that when he's moving, he can return his hands back to the center. So I'll invite Tony back up here again, please. So if we start here, and the hand runs off of the line and goes to hit back, we don't want his hand going out here or too low or, too chokyu, jammed up. So we want to teach it to go into the right position. There it is. Good. And the same with underneath. We want to make sure his futsal gets into the right position with the elbow so that he's protected from the underneath. So we're just teaching his hands to move into the right positions to protect the center. Thank you. And we're going to do this within the Toi Ma drill. So I'm going to push. There we go. Testing to make sure. So with this drill, I can push Tony's horse. I can give him the time he needs to practice getting his hands into the right positions. Needless to say, as Tony gets better at this drill, his stance gets more stable and his hands can respond correctly more quickly. This drill will pick up the pace a little bit so that it becomes more exciting, more challenging, and therefore provides better training. Once the Sidai has become proficient at being able to move their horse and stay upright and get their hands back onto the center in the proper position, we add another element to the drill, and that is what we call Chongqi, or heavy forward energy. So not like before where I just helped Tony to move around. Now I'm going to ask Tony to give some resistance to my forward energy. And then we're going to do the same drill. The exception being now, Tony will try not to step back. He will try to hold his stance, either forward or back, again with proper technique, and again protecting the center line. But he's going to start to train his stance to hold instead of allowing it just to be moved around. I'm going to ask Tony to come on up here and help me demonstrate the Tsui Ma drill. We're going to add a little bit of Chongqi, or a little bit of forward pressure, in this drill. And depending how good the stance of the Sidai is, the Siheng may or may not choose to use their stance as well. So it's not uncommon for a Siheng, if they use their stance, may just be too powerful. Those Siheng will just apply some kind of unconditional stepping to help the Sidai grow. You don't want too much pressure, otherwise they won't be able to learn. So to demonstrate with Tony here, a little bit of pressure. So now Tony's just going to try not to step back. And he's going to try and maintain his center as well. Don't run. So that's all I have to say for this week about the Toi Ma, or pushing horse drill. hopefully it gives you a little bit of some ideas of a drill that you might be able to use to help you improve your stance if it needs improving, your balance if that needs improving, and help you to get your hands, or teach your Sidai how to get their hands back onto center. Again, I want to thank you all for spending the time with me this week. As usual, I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to talk about next week, so please feel free to send in some suggestions. Until then, thank you very much. Bye for now.